Good morning, guys. Theo here on Common Sense. Out here in the morning to get some morning sun because, even though the clouds are there, the sun is still shining behind them. So that's the reminder that even when there are clouds, the sun, although weaker, it still has an effect. So it's very important to go out and get, especially the morning sun, those red beams that set your circadian clock for the day, tells you that we're ready to go. But it's also that stoic quote of mine that means that even when you're depressed and can't really see the beauty in the world, you gotta trust that the sun is still shining, it's still there, all of that. You just can't see it right now. So this morning I wanted to talk to you about syncing up your words with your actions. It's one of these lessons that I've experienced tremendous personal growth this summer. And many lessons you learn, they are not entirely new. Yeah, and it's like I've talked about how the coach, you can see me as your coach, the viewer's coach, but also with the clients, you don't necessarily always come and tell them new groundbreaking things. You remind them of things so they don't forget, oh, that's right, that's what I should focus on. But you also tell them things from different angles, so you deepen the understanding, you make the picture clearer and clearer. And so this is what's happened with it. I've known for a long time that people in general, but I think especially today in the information society when we're so much in our heads, so much on the internet, social media and that, people are just freaking terrible at syncing up their words and their actions. And it's something I'll go into what I think about it, but I'll tell you that I've always been quite good at it. But as a less healed person than that, I've also been bad at delivering on my word and just told, like most people do, when they talk about themselves, they don't really tell about who they are right now. They talk about who they wish they were, or they hyper-focus on the aspects of themselves they want to highlight and hide away the others, right? And so I tell you, what I've ended up with now is that I just make my fucking words and actions sync so well. Because I've gotten to know myself so that I can, Like I basically always, if I say something, I'll be there at this time, I will deliver this by this, la la la. I always deliver on it, or I update my word. Because that's the issue too. A lot of people, we try to predict the future a lot in our lives, and there's a lot of things we can predict, that the sun will go up and down, and it's going to be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, etc. And things that happen on those days in our lives, they're going to be a lot the same. But we can't predict it perfectly, right? And the thing with that is that it's okay. But most people... So this, with keeping your word and actions aligned, it's about creating good relationships, but with yourself as well, because you're always going against your word, against yourself too. And that's a reflection, the relationship with yourself is the relationship you have with others, So let me just pause. I just saw they were starting some kind of loud park maintenance car here, and they drove away. But yeah, like if you say, I'll call you in 2 hours, for instance. That's about, you probably don't know it's exactly 2 hours. So if it's like 10 minutes off here and there, maybe you don't have to say anything. But if this person is expecting, that this person is a busy person and they're expecting your call then, and they don't hear shit from you and time just passes by, that now this person has set off time to be with you or talk to you, and this person would probably understand if you just tell them that, I'm just too freaking tired, I'm too stressed, or I had more to do here than I thought, I can't do it now, let's do it tomorrow, let's do it later today, whatever. It's so little that's needed to just update your word, because it's fine that no one can predict the future completely, right? So yeah, this is what I do, most of the time I've gotten to know myself, so I can very often predict how I do, but then I can also deliver these, that I don't put myself in a spot necessarily where I have to completely backtrack on my word. Like I'll say, I'll call you in this time or something, and I'll in good time tell if it wasn't possible, and if something really came up so that I couldn't even say that, I'm always aware of this, and I will come back and be like, look, I'm sorry, I couldn't even tell you this thing happened right, and I couldn't even get to the phone, because it's very important. It's all right to not be perfect, and yeah, that you miss sometimes, but you have to correct it then. That's the thing. So would you see what I'm saying? No one will be able to, I mean, if I say I'll meet you there at 3 or something and I get hit by a car, you know, what am I supposed to do about it? But I should, when, depending on how bad this accident, but when I'm awake and that, I should probably tell this person, look, I'm sorry, I bailed on you, I got hit by a car, right? It's the right thing to do. And I'm talking about this, I become so very good at it, and this is how you kind of create your own reality, guys. You know, the more you sync up the story with your actions, you know, you'll be able to tell the story of your life, actually, and not the fucking fantasy. If what you're saying in your head is always aligned with reality, or almost always, you know, when you start changing the story in your head, you start changing it in reality too, right? So this is what I've told, you know, I've had, because what I have to deal with a lot is that I am a man of my word to such a degree, you know, and when I have to update it or change it, or, you know, I always do, and then the occasional time, even me, you know, if you have 100 things to get to, you'll miss one, and you have to apologize. And then, you know, you went against your word, but you delivered more words to excuse yourself and acknowledge this, you know, and it's fine. But so many people that I deal with, you know, when you've done all this work on yourself, it's, you know, it's one thing, not that all relationships are one-sided. It can just be that you have more to give. I have more to give in almost any given relationship. I have a handful of bros, you know. I don't really feel that way. But you can have relationships where you have a bit more to give. That's one thing. But so often I run into one-sided relationships. Like in my life, people that just, you know, that I know that want my kind of professional help for free, which I'm, of course, because I'm just doing this professionally because I want to be able to do it more. It's not the main motivation that everyone just needs to pay. So I might do that. But when people like that, like I offer someone, like when they talk to me, yeah, we can meet and do this, and then they fucking bail on me, and it's like, okay, so you asked for my time to get my help about something, and you didn't tell that you changed, you didn't feel on it, on that. How fucking shitty behavior is that, you know? And this, if I'm that kind of person, because I'm not like this at all. I never treat people this way, you know. So you see, I always have to look out for myself like that, or I will get used. So I have to be very, very strict with people like this. So I taught clients actually that, you know, we had agreed on a time. I always have calls, you know. This is because I give so much. I give the call before taking someone on as a client, you know. I want to do that. If someone said I pay you first, I'll be like, okay, you can, but I will want to talk to you before I create the program and everything, right? And so it has happened that people like just ghosted me on the time we agreed on when they have come to me because they want my service, and I have taken my time to plan to be able to talk to them, and then they don't show up. So they ask me for something and then spit in my face, basically. So I've had to tell these people that, okay, the coaching that was $1,000 is now $1,500, and it's not because I don't like the person, or it's just that now apparently you've showed that you don't value my time enough, and I'm gonna make you value it, or you can just go away, you know. And so I've had that. This has happened with a few clients, and it's funny because it's not that I try to make more money, you know. I've told them after the fact because they have learned the lesson. It's good. I have to do this to teach them the lesson, right? And I've said that, yeah, I'm just happy that I had to make more money because of you learning a lesson, you know. But so the thing, I'm gonna come to it. I've just done the whole like talking about how it is, right? But you know, okay. So the point I didn't bring up, you know, you have a relationship with yourself too, right? And if you keep telling yourself, like people do, I'm gonna quit this now. I'm gonna finally lose the weight. I'm finally gonna get jacked. Finally quitting weed. Oh no, I'm laying off the booze now. Finally, yes, I'm quitting cold turkey once and for all. How many people haven't told themselves something similar over and over and over and over, and then gone against their word completely? And of course, how do you feel about people in your life? It's one thing if someone is struggling and they're just like, oh, I'll try again, you know. If they admit that they're struggling and that, you don't have it. But if it's someone who's always, yeah, this time, I'm reaching my goal, this time I'm losing the weight, etc. And they go, you know, how it's going to play out. They're going to do exactly the same thing again. What do you think about yourself when you keep doing it that way? Of course, you don't respect yourself. You don't trust yourself really when you tell yourself these things. Because again, people always, they are too fast. They think that it's the ego that just wants its will to be true by just saying the words, I'll quit now, I'll do it now. Because you feel that way right then in a moment. You want it to happen, but you don't know yourself well enough to know that. But you failed so many fucking times. How can you say that I'll definitely quit this time and that? So what you gotta do? I feel like I didn't have. I'm gonna have to have follow-up videos on this. Please tell me in the comments if there are any particular aspect you'd like me to go deeper into. But what I've done is like I've been good at this because I've always, especially my word to others, I've probably been better at keeping my word to others than my word to myself, and that's why I'm kind of the leader. I care so fucking much about the people around me, like even more than me. Myself at times, and that's been a big one for me to have to work on and care for myself, like I have to do when people kind of just use and waste my time like that, right? But what you do, what I've done even further, is when you notice that, okay, like me for instance, in certain situations I often think that, no, but I'll be ready, I'll get back to you in 2 hours or whatever. But then the thing, I might have a client call, some kind of workout, or I did a live stream or a video, and maybe I am quite gassed for energy then, and I could talk, but I don't really feel like it anymore. Like, and I want to with that person when we talk. I want to be fully present. I don't want to be feeling like I have to talk to them now. Well, like for the future, I can get better and even say that if I have the energy, I'll call you then or text you then, you know, but I might be gassed from it, because now I've learned that about myself, that okay, even though I feel like doing this in the moment, these things coming up might gas me, you know. But before I reach that point, all I kind of have to do is at least tell the person then that, okay, you know, I'm sorry, I know I said I'd call you then, I'm just tired now. You know, most people, it's not changing your mind that you couldn't predict exactly how things are, but you have to, as much as possible, try to keep your word, you know, right from the start. And then when you see that it can't, you have to update it, correct the mistake. That's not really a mistake if you correct it. It just had to be changed, right? So, and this is the same thing when you, you know, because this loop that you get stuck in when you try to quit your addictions, reach, you know, weight loss that we talk a lot about on the channel, and you just fail over and over. You feel, this is what you've set up, okay? I'm a person that keeps saying I'll lose weight and I can't. You make that like a reality that, yeah, I'm a person that just can't deliver on my word. So you have to update your word before you update your actions. Okay, this time I'll really try. I would be happy if I at least would be able to do this, you know. And when you talk to yourself that way and you allow yourself, because it feeds into the loop, all the self-judgment and shame when you keep going against your word, right? So you change your word so that you can live up to it. You don't make promises you can't keep. You set the bar much lower. Instead of being like, I'm quitting 100% this time, like, I'll definitely try to do it less, you know, and then less of your bad habits, you know, is better. And then you're going to feel better about yourself, instead of thinking maybe, oh, I should be able to do that. Yeah, but all I said was that I was going to, I don't know, eat a bit less junk food. I was going to smoke a bit less weed. I was not going to drink beer. I was going to drink wine instead, whatever it is, you know. If you deliver on that, you'll feel good about yourself. And now you get a positive feedback loop instead. That I'm just checking the time there. That now, like, I am a person that delivers on my word. Maybe I can try to level up my word a bit next time. And then that's how you go about it. I'll tell you, in a parallel universe, because weed is illegal here, but I actually, you know, this is something I've suspected, that there is a parallel universe with a version of Theo that's exactly like me, only has smoked weed, you know, because I would never do that, of course. But when he tried to quit, like, he was able to keep the habit and keep a lot of, you know, without it affecting too much in his life, but he still wasn't happy about the habit. Felt like he did it a bit too much, that it sometimes made him a little passive if he went over the limit, because there is a balance with certain things in the way he used them, right? But so this guy, this parallel universe Theo, he kept always being like, okay, I have my final weed now, It's in the evening, it's gone. I'll go to work. Was when he was working in the gym, that Theo. And I'll not get anymore. I'm quitting. And then how fucking much do you think that Theo judged himself when he still was heading to get new after the work, And then he's got, fuck, I did it again. Why did I do it again? I said I wouldn't, So then Theo realized that apparently this doesn't sync up. So he just allowed it to happen and be like, okay, I'll try to do it less, I'll just let it be there. I don't judge myself so harshly for it. Just let it be. And then he noticed that when he relaxed a bit about it, there come that point where he'd normally go get more. But after a few times, he'd be like, you know what, I feel like I don't actually need it now. Because now he wasn't all in this, oh, should I not? And when he wasn't in that old ego battle with himself, he could naturally end up at the point like, do you know what, now I feel like I can do it. And then he just quit it then. So yeah, that's a story about Parallel Universe Theo. Okay, surprisingly long video because I still have more to say about this, a lot more. It's a very important one, guys. You are not who you say you are. You are who you are. Are as in an active verb, being, what you do in the world. So you gotta sync up your words. Start with your words so that they sync up with your current actions. Then you gradually start improving your word and actions together, and then you'll be writing the story. That's why I say things like, I will have my kingdom. It's not like, oh, I will have reached these goals exactly by this point, because it's gonna make me feel terrible when I don't. But I know how much I've controlled, reach the things I want in the end. It's just that if I try to make my will be done and not God's will be done, just let it play out the way it should, it bites me in the ass. If I find now I need to have it exactly like this, it never works. So I just say, I will have my kingdom. Exactly what that looks like and when, I say nothing about. And then I'm not going to have to go against my word, because in a sense, guys, I already have my kingdom. I'm living the life I want. I have the profession I want. There's a lot of things that I want that I have, but yeah, I have other things in mind to level up the kingdom. So yeah, already delivering on my word in a sense. Okay, guys, I'm late to my Greek lessons. Gotta go. Please like, please comment. What would you like to hear more about? What did you think? Comment anyway. All comments and likes help support the channel. Please subscribe for more content about fitness, fasting, losing weight, building muscle, self-improvement, stoicism, mental health, depression. Yeah, all the kind of cool shit, guys. I will see you later. Have a good weekend. Peace.